Hey guys, how you doing? My name is Lena. Welcome back to another video. So, today, I wasn't really planning on doing this video, but you know what? We're going to talk about my most surprising books of last year, of 2020 basically. Because, you know, there were some books that, while I was making my best of last year, I was just like, these were also so good, but these were better. So, still, so many books surprised me this year. I wasn't expecting that many books to be great. I'm also super cold, so we're going to get started because this is so fucking cold here. The first book that I have here, I have like 8 or 9 or 10 maybe. So let's just start with Magic for Liars by Sarah Gailey. This book suffered a lot because the publicity for this book was so misleading. Like, no, this was sold as a horse but with a murder mystery. Is it technically that? Yeah, it's about a murder in a magical school. Yes, but this is basically the context to bring this girl to her sister and just have them kind of reconnect again. It's really basically just the context. So yeah, if you're going to get in this one and be just like, oh, I'm going to have so much mystery here, no, you won't. This is more of a contemporary book than anything else, but still, I really, really love it. I'm so glad that I had Monica to tell me that, yeah, that book is not that, by the way. It's not that at all. So I was really excited. I love this, if I'm being honest. And this book is also beautiful. Like, but yeah, highly underrated book. I have to make another video of those and recommend this one because this is so... This is actually so good, but people went into this expecting something else, and expectations can just fuck a book for you, basically. So yeah, careful with that. It's really a book about your own expectations, actually, and dealing with the acceptance of your family, and also asking yourself to match. It's really a contemporary book set on a magical school. So careful with that, but still is so good. A book that I never thought I would like. A Curse of Dark and Lonely by Bridget Kemmerer. I ate this book up so fast. And also the sequel. Right after I read this, I was just like, I need the sequel now. Give me the sequel now. And I did. And I'm about to read the third one, which is coming out in a few weeks. This is a retelling of The Beauty and the Beast. And as someone who doesn't enjoy romance, I ate this shit up so bad. Like, I was so invested. I also thought that Harper was a great main character. You know, she wasn't just like this whiny girl, like, those type of annoying type of main characters. She was actually a super cool main character. So that's probably why I enjoyed this one so much. But still, this is so heavy on the romance. You know, it's him trying to seduce her, basically. And it's just, it was so good. The thing is that I have already heard other people talk about how much they enjoyed this, even though they didn't enjoy it like other YA romances books. Still, I was so surprised that I liked this. Also, these spines are hollow and they are so cool. Then I enjoy this. I actually recommended this book to one of my friends who's about to finish it. And we do have similar tastes, but we really differ in romance. She's much more of a romance reader than me. But we are both enjoying this shit so much. Like, this is so good. I cannot wait for about Something and Deadly. Something and Deadly. I don't remember the name right now. Before I forget, Clown in a Cornfield by what was the name? Something Cesare. Oh my god, I'm blanking so bad. Well, you're seeing the name here. This slasher novel, it's a slasher YA novel, was so fun. Ate this shit on a day. I needed to know how it ended. I was listening to it while I was driving, and the second I got home, I was just like, headphones, and me just like, please, how it ended, how it ended. I even dreamt about this book that night. I was just so invested. I needed to know how it ended. It was so cool, so cool. It's not going to be like the book of your life or anything, but man, it was so addicting. It's just basically about clowns killing teenagers. It's perfect. Like, what else do you want? So I freaking love this. I do want to get a physical copy of it because I just really want to reread it, even though it's stupid because I already know the twist and it was super predictable, but still so cool. I wish we had a series of or a movie about this. It would be so cool, like so cool. But I enjoy the hell out of this. And I'm not even a little bit ashamed of it. It's not going to be a book for everyone, you know. It's literally a slasher movie, but in a book. Literally. But it was so cool. It was so cool. I just really like that one. Then, The Light Brigade by Cameron Harley. The thing is, I thought that Cameron Harley's science fiction books weren't going to be for me because apparently they are always pretty weird. Especially what was the other name? The Stars of Legion. So, because I've heard so many mixed things about that one, I was just like, am I really going to enjoy this? Like, I don't know. But Angela from Literature Science Alliance was just like, this book is fucking great. And indeed, I almost gave this one a full 5 stars because it was so cool. It touches on the different timelines and going back and forth and having to piece everything together. It's basically about this technology that allows troops to be deployed on Mars by basically turning them into light. And something goes wrong with our main character. She starts just jumping around in different deploys. It's just, I really like this book. Like, I'm seriously considering reading it now. Like, that's how much I liked it. I also listened to it on audiobook, and the audiobook is fucking amazing, by the way. This was super cool. Like, I really enjoyed this book. I would highly recommend this book to almost everyone. It's really like more of a science fiction thriller, and something is not really on the same path as like dark matter and such, but it reads like something like that. Oh, this is more complex, a little bit more complex, but it's in the same kind of vein, you know, like it's really similar in that aspect. So I will highly recommend that one. Like, try it. I will definitely try it. I'm so glad. I'm just making me read so many amazing books lately. Highly recommend this one. It's super cool. It was such a surprise. I wasn't expecting to liking it as much as I did. I'm so glad I read it. By the time you're watching this, you have probably heard me talk about Dread Nation by Justina Ireland and how much I liked it. I gave it 4 stars. I didn't give it 5 stars because it wasn't perfect. But man, for being a zombie book, this book is full of social commentary and it was fucking amazing. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I have already ordered the sequel. I cannot wait to read it. I think that it's going to be even better than this first one, so I'm super excited. But yeah, this is basically a zombie book set right after the Civil War on America, and black girls are sent to schools to become kind of zombie killers, basically. It's just, they also teach etiquette, okay? Okay, there's a bit for everything, you know. But I really like this one. I was so surprised. I knew that I was going to enjoy it because, you know, I really enjoy zombie books in general. But I had no idea about how much I was going to like this. I read it in 2 days. I was just like, you know, I'm just going to listen to a little bit more of this. Such a cool book. I would highly recommend this one also if you just like fast-paced stories. I think this was great. It's also kind of a alternative history type of book, so beware of that. If you don't like those, I will still try it because it's super good. But yeah, great book, great social commentary, great in general. We're speedrunning this video so bad. Like, then A Good Girl's Guide to Murder by Holly Jackson. Holly Jackson, because this book was amazing. This is a YA mystery, and you know what? I realized that I just really love YA mysteries. I just love the drama. They are so much more compelling to me than like adult thrillers. Even though I really like thrillers in general, these are just the teenage drama makes everything much more emotional. The stakes feel higher, you know. It's dumb, but it's still super good. And this is basically about a girl trying to make a project for her last year in high school, basically, and her entry in college. In this town, this girl was killed and the boyfriend was accused of killing her. Our main character was just like, did he though? But he just basically committed suicide, and everyone was just like, yeah, he did it. So she's trying to prove everyone that he was actually innocent, and that was such a cool concept. I really want to read Good Girl, Bad Blood. I really want to read the sequel, but I do want to listen to it as an audiobook because the second one is a podcast. This is a mixed media book, which is super cool, by the way. I think that, did I recommend this on my mixed media book recommendations? I don't think I did. But still, this was super great. I loved the audiobook and I refuse to read the second one being a podcast. Like, I just want to listen to it, but the audiobook doesn't come out until February, I believe, because the book wasn't published in the US until recently, or still hasn't come out, if I'm being honest. I don't know. But what a great mystery book. What a great mystery book. I really, really enjoyed this book. Try this one. It's such a fun read. YA thrillers are just so fun. One of the books that was like super featured in this channel this year, Velocity Weapon by Megan E. O'Keefe. What a great book. I mean, is this technically a surprise? It shouldn't, because it was sold to me like Mass Effect meets The Expanse. So, what's the surprise in there? I don't know, but I still enjoy the hell out of this book. I really like this one. We basically follow two siblings. One of them wakes up 200 years later. Basically, the war's over and everyone's dead. And she's taken by this alien intelligence ship. Barrow, man, Barrow. Oh. And then the other sibling is in the present, just maneuvering through everything. This was fucking great. Did I saw the twist? Yeah. Would I prefer if the twist wasn't a twist and it was like the real thing? Maybe, and that's why probably I didn't give this one 5 stars, but still, I really love this one. I'm super excited to get into Chaos Spectre, which is book 2, and I already own that. It's there. I'm just super excited. I cannot tell you again how much I like this book. I have put it in so many like book recommendations videos because I think it's a great science fiction. It's also a super, I wouldn't say light science fiction, but it's a great entry into science fiction if you have not read that many sci-fis. I think that is a great way to start. It has enough elements of the day-to-day world to just not be extremely confusing. So I think everyone could read this and enjoy it. So please read Velocity Weapon. Then we have The Last Mile in Sunder City by Luke Arnold. Who, you know, I was going into this book with high expectations. I put it on my 5-star predictions video, so you know I was already hoping for a lot, but still, this is a debut novel and it was so good. So good. It's an urban fantasy where in a world where magic has disappeared and all the magical creatures are suffering the consequences, and it's such a cool concept. I loved the concept of this book. I said it multiple times. Yeah, it is like The Wolf Among Us. It's also really reminiscent of Carnival Row, like so reminiscent of Carnival Row, especially the parts of the war, you know, the where when the humans and the fairies are fighting the evil lord. That part. Yes, I really like this. I think that everyone could basically enjoy this. I think there was nothing wrong with it, but it still wasn't perfect. That's why I didn't give it 5 stars, but it was a super close 4 stars. Like, it was good. Like, you know when a book is good? I immediately pre-ordered the sequel. There was also, Lucas, a member of the Black Sails cast, if you don't know, and he assembled the Black Sails cast to just read the second book, Dead Man in the Ditch. That was such a cool event. Search that. That was so cool. But yeah, I would highly recommend this one if you like fantasy in general and also urban fantasy. I think that book was like really nice. Then I have already talked about this book really recently, so I won't go into much depth about it. But The Bird and the Nightingale by Catherine Arden. Man, I'm so dumb. Why didn't I read this book before? I don't know, but I'm just stupid. This was amazing. The atmosphere in this book is everything. Winter in Russia is scary as hell sometimes. There were so many like creepy moments. I loved them. Basilisa was a good main character. She wasn't amazing, but she was cool enough, you know. Writing style is beautiful, by the way. This is a beautiful book. And Catherine Arden writes in a way where you can picture everything. You can picture absolutely everything that is in the page. Like, all of it. That is talent. Like, oh, love this one. I cannot wait to read the sequel. I'm just super excited. I'm thinking about going straight into the sequel next month, but next month I think I'm going to do only self-published books. So I don't know. It's going to be tough. But Burning Nightingale, amazing. Highly recommend that one if you like fantasy. It's a little bit slower than your usual fantasy, but the payoff is great. Then, A Number in the Ashes by Sabra Tahir. Another YA fantasy book that I was not really sure if what I was going to like. I basically just picked it up because everyone was just like, it's so highly underrated, it's actually really good. I was just like, you know what? Let's try this. Let's try this and see if it actually is like really underrated. And it actually is. This is actually a super cool series, so I would highly recommend that you try it. In the first book, there's not that much magic. It's more about the Empire and Elias and such, but the second book is full of magic, like full on magic. So this is also heavily inspired by the Roman Empire, which is also super cool. I haven't seen that many Roman inspired books, if I'm being honest. The mask concept here was also something that I really enjoyed. But yeah, this was probably the book that surprised me the most this year. Because I was just like, yeah, it's probably just going to be the hype. But I enjoyed the hell out of this book. I have already read the sequel. I have already ordered the third one. So I think that I'm just going to binge the last two books. The third one when it arrives. And then as I finish that, I will just jump into the fourth one and finish the quartet. Like, probably. And the last book that I have here is going to be Hold Back the Tide by I almost said it wrong again. Melinda Salisbury. I went into this book thinking that it was a mystery novel. Little did I know that this is a vampire book. The thing is, it doesn't feel like that at all. And it starts by, here are the rules of living with a murderer. 1, do not draw attention to yourself. 2, if you can't be invisible, be useful. It's just so cool, so cool. It's not going to be like the book of my life or anything like that, but this with the rules for banishing, one of my favorite YA books by far. Like, they're so good. I wasn't expecting much out of them, and I really like them both. I thought the beginning of this book was super engaging, then that twist, in the ending is just such a punch to your face. You're not even prepared for that. You're just like, oh, everything's so fine. No, bitch. No. Such a cool little book because it's super short. It's not even 300 pages. Yeah, not even 300 pages, and so many things happen here. It reminded me a lot of 30 Days of Darkness. Is that how it's called? I will search a picture and put it here. Both the comic and the movie. Not the second movie, the first movie. Like, please. Both of them super similar. I really enjoyed this one. I swear I went into this book knowing nothing. Like nothing. I just bought it because it was for like it cost me €4. Which is like, you know what? It sounds interesting. I will try it. Little did I know. I was shocked by how much I like this book. Like, it's just such a cool hidden gem. Like, oh. Well, those were basically all. Have you read any of these books? I'm really curious because I think that some of them are quite not underrated, but are more like obscure books, especially Hold Back the Tide. It's just like such a cool book, you know. It's just, I really like that one. But yeah, again, as I've told you in a million videos already, this is all being pre-recorded, so maybe I'm missing something, probably. But I won't be able to be down in the comments too much. I'll try my best. I will just see you in the next one, which is the authentic truth, because you're seeing me, but I'm not seeing you until almost 1 month. I just need to say my phrase, like, you know. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.